Welcome back. The two largest daily fantasy sports websites, you probably have heard of them, are fighting back after being ordered to shut down in the state of New York. The Attorney General there, Eric Schneiderman, Tuesday sending DraftKings and FanDuel cease and desist orders. Both companies are blasting that decision.
This is the fantasy football season that could change it all.
It's a crackdown on daily fantasy sports, largely unregulated gameplay, after New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman ordered the two biggest fantasy sports companies to stop accepting bets in the state.
Daily fantasy sports, which we've been looking into for over a month, we've concluded is not some new version of fantasy sports. It's really just a new version of online gambling.
On Tuesday, Schneiderman sent notices to DraftKings and FanDuel ordering the online companies to cease and desist, concluding that their contests are neither harmless nor victimless.
It really does lure in people who are the most prone to gambling addiction problems.
In a statement, FanDuel responded saying fantasy sports is a game of skill and legal under New York state law. DraftKings also called daily fantasy sports a game of skill. They said, "We strongly disagree with the reasoning in his opinion and will examine and vigorously pursue all legal options available." Tuesday's notice could further implicate major sports, which have both anti-gambling policies and investments in daily fantasy sports. Major League Baseball has an undisclosed stake in DraftKings, and the National Basketball Association has an undisclosed stake in FanDuel.
It could create quite a lot of drama going forward, and also it's also going to cue things up for a lot of other states that have been looking at this at the same time.
6 other states have already declared that daily fantasy sports is gambling, but according to industry research, New York State has more daily fantasy players than any other. Last night on Twitter, both companies asked daily fantasy fans to sign petitions against the order.
There's a lot to play out right now, though, because this will be challenged in court. In the meantime, it's a pretty crushing blow for these companies.
We should tell you that we put in some calls to the state of Florida to see if they'll be cracking down on those fantasy football sites, but we were unable to reach them due to the Veterans Day holiday.